The mission statement is to get enough people here to convince the city of Calgary to rescind that ridiculous bylaw.
It's easy to be silent right now, but it's going to be much more difficult in the long term. The moment we give up the sacred temple that is our body and we just sell it to the government, basically, then we no longer have a say on what happens to us. And that sends a dangerous precedent.
Yeah, your first time out here. Why are you, or why should people be against the vaccine passport bylaw?
Well, in my opinion, that honestly, I love the irony behind without papers and everything like that, because that's ultimately been all that it is this whole time, is just having to go and show your papers to all these businesses coming in. And I think it's absolutely ridiculous to have to show any kind of proof to anybody that you've been vaccinated for anything. It's never been required, and why is it being required now? Ultimately, as we've seen with everything, the longer that we comply with all of this and the longer that we allow the government to make our decisions that we don't agree with, the further that it's going to continue going. If you don't agree with it, at least say something, at least stand up for it. And if you do agree with it, let everybody speak their piece. Don't just be kind, show some love to everybody, because it's just there's not enough of that going around the world right now.
Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
We've already covered the story of Without Papers Pizza, and you've probably seen our latest videos detailing how the vaccine passport bylaw here in Calgary destroyed his small business. That bylaw reads, quote, "The City of Calgary Vaccine Passport Bylaw 65M 2021 requires many businesses and organizations to require proof of vaccination, recent negative COVID-19 test, or valid medical exemption letter to gain entry." Jesse, the owner of Without Papers, took a stand against this discrimination that the state sought to impose by not asking people whether or not they had been vaccinated. And what started as free pizza had evolved over time into something much more. Protests, sidewalk picnics, speeches, a dance party, and today it has changed again. Let's get in there and see what they have to say. You got to tell me, how is that freedom pizza you're having there?
It tastes delicious.
Delicious. Hey, it was worth coming out here for.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You mind if I ask, what does bring you out here today?
Freedom?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And right now, Jesse's Without Papers, they were shut down because they didn't want to do the vaccine passport bylaw. Why should people be opposed to that vaccine passport bylaw?
Well, I think it comes down to personal choice, and I also think it comes down to informing yourself. And there's a lot of other information that we're not presently getting from the mainstream media that would imply that.
Censorship.
It's funny, I'm wearing this silly hat with these sayings, and there's all this back and forth and fights and jokes we make. But really, at the end of the day, it's a serious topic. It's mandating what someone is allowed to do with their physical body, which then that sets a very dangerous precedent for the future. Because the moment we give up the sacred temple that is our body and we just sell it to the government, basically, then we no longer have a say on what happens to us. And that sends a dangerous precedent. So I understand right now people don't really get it. They don't see it's a big deal right now. They have to step into the future. When is a possibility it's going to be a big deal for you? Because at some point they're going to come after something in your life, something in your body that's going to matter to you.
Yeah, your first time out here. Why are you, or why should people be against the vaccine passport bylaw?
Well, in my opinion, that honestly, I love the irony behind without papers and everything like that, because that's ultimately been all that it is this whole time, is just having to go and show your papers to all these businesses coming in. And I think it's absolutely ridiculous to have to show any kind of proof to anybody that you've been vaccinated for anything. It's never been required, and why is it being required now?
No, I know. So we're not removing it today, but I was told in the future that because it's a parking authority, it's part of the property, but you can apply for a permit to have the whole parking.
Yeah, that's what they told me.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to pass that along.
So.
And not only are they coming after our bodies, they're also coming after our businesses. How much authority do you think the government should have? Where do they draw the line in when to shut down and when they're not allowed to shut down a business?
Ooh, that's a big question. But when it comes to this, I want to use the word common sense. Common sense here would look like, what is the actual
Censorship.
I wouldn't say that I agreed with coming out with the vaccine exemption program and all of that, but at least at the beginning, business owners had the option to then mandate it as a Calgary bylaw that businesses no longer had that option. That's the absolute line. I believe that the line's been crossed numerous times prior to now, but if I had to pick a definite line, that would be it. Not giving businesses any kind of options when it comes to any of this.
How you doing? I'm sorry to bother you. I just wanted to know, as you know, the protests have been going on here, and I just wanted to get comment from any of you guys.
We can't comment, unfortunately.
Not on the protest? Am I able to ask you about your thoughts on the bylaw? Oh, okay.
We're not, we just aren't able to comment. Sorry.
No, that's okay. She just flicked her hand at me.
Did she?
Yeah, okay. I don't think she wants to respond to comment. So this weekly event has changed quite a bit from the beginning. First it was free pizza, now it's a parking lot picnic. Could you explain what it is now and where it's going?
The protests are taking place now at the corner of 11th Avenue and 9th Street in the beautifully repurposed Park, which I feel is perfectly suited for protest. We didn't realize when these protests were starting the disruption that it was causing to our neighbors and friends in the neighborhood, and we thought that it would be better suited to be here and not disrupt their businesses.
Moving forward, what is the mission statement for this event?
The mission statement is to get enough people here to convince the city of Calgary to rescind that ridiculous bylaw.
And lastly, how do people support you?
They can support me by going to Pow Pizza and purchasing pizza. They can also go to our Instagram and our Facebook, also our website, and they can do donations either via PayPal or e-transfer as well.
And right now, a lot of people are not in favor of the vaccine passports, but they continue to remain silent. Do you have a message for the silent majority?
I'd just say ultimately, as we've seen with everything, the longer that we comply with all of this and the longer that we allow the government to make our decisions that we don't agree with, the further that it's going to continue going. If you don't agree with it, at least say something, at least stand up for it. And if you do agree with it, let everybody speak their piece. Don't just be kind, show some love to everybody, because it's just there's not enough of that going around the world right now. And I'd say be kind to each other.
Speak up now, because I get it's frightening to speak up, because a lot of people are afraid to speak up because of tribal connections. It might be scary to speak up because you're not sure what your family or your friends or your coworkers are going to think, whether your job is going to be on the line. But like I said before, this is a bigger picture. This is not just about what's happening right now. This is now setting the stage for what the government and our fellow citizens can get away with years and years from now. So it's easy to be silent right now, but it's going to be much more difficult in the long term. That short-term discomfort you're going to experience by speaking out and, going to events and, putting down your foot and drawing a line, that short-term discomfort is going to be nothing compared to the years and years of agony and toil you're going to have fighting for basic human rights in areas that you care about in the years to come. So this is just kind of a plea to everyone out there who doesn't get it now. Try and understand at some point they're going to come for you. They're going to come for something you care about. And we're standing here now on the front line saying, you should care about this because it's going to matter at some point. And that's why we need to oppose this, because it's not just about this. It's about everything for our future and our health. So.
And notably, a rather large police presence has been found here today. You can see one officer there, as well as 5 officers behind me. And very loud motorcycle supporters.
Just push it back?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about we put it right here?
Oh, it's been great.
Thanks for sticking to the end, guys. And remember, if you want to help those being marginalized by the vaccine passport, go to fightvaccinepassports.com. Right now, your donations will qualify for a charitable tax receipt. Or if you know somebody who has a story that they wish to share, go to fightvaccinepassports.com. And please stay updated, because this is surely set to evolve. For Rebel News, I'm Sidney Fazard. Guys, I hate this as much as the next person, but right now you're being censored by YouTube. So if you want to see the story that's happening behind me, you're going to have to check it out on rebelnews.com. And that way, I don't have to interrupt your video anymore. You can just go on about your day and hear about the news.